And we're back. Totally back right now. As we have our first game of the grand finals of the AVGL Snowed In Dota 2 series. We're going to get right into it. We've got some Meepo. It's going to be Zeus up against Slayers. And we're going to see how
Finally,
this goes. Yeah, we are finally getting into the grand final. It's best of 5. No
Resident Sleeper.
no hero repeats except for SF in game number 5. But here we are. Zeus, he chose Meepo. We've got
And
Slayers on the Dire side. He's going to have to show his Meepo skills.
he went for that quick level 1 poof, so he has some plans, and hopefully he doesn't plan on farming this.
No, he's just playing it around right now, I'm sure.
Making sure. But yeah, I mean, look at these item builds. Zeus going for the level 1 boots of speed.
Yeah, he's,
I'm not completely crazy about that. I mean, it'll be nice once he puts more levels in Geostrike, but I feel like with the amount of harass that's gonna come out, I really like Cass's build a little bit more.
it
He is the Arcana
might.
though, or
Yeah,
the Immortal.
he does have the Immortal, so he must be better. I kind of like the boots. It allows him to make a couple more plays around Poof. I mean, you could get in a better position for it. You can be able to juke the enemies' Poofs a little bit easier. I mean, clearly
Sure.
that's what a lot of the matchup is going to go around. Also, your boots are shared among all the Meepos, so you get even more value out of that item the earlier you get it.
You're right. So it'll just depend on these guys' playstyles. But we're finally getting in game.
Yep, indeed we are. And we're going to be seeing these guys clash pretty soon. I'm just loving the Meepo pick by Zeus. And he's going to miss the
Yeah,
block
it's
a little bit.
definitely a lot of fun. It's not an easy. I mean, it's not a boring hero, but Cass with a really good block.
Yeah, but we're already
Good
going to be
aggro
getting
though.
into the last hits here. They're juking around that poof. So Slayers just uses it a little bit earlier here. Oh, can't do enough damage there for the deny. So already
Cass is
Slayers,
playing really well.
yeah, he's taking a bit of an advantage right now in terms of CS, but the wave is pushing the way of Zeus. Wants to make sure that he can get enough value out of those boots very early.
Especially once he hits that first level in Divided. He gets his first Meepo. It'll help, but Cass going with that level 2 Geostrike.
Yeah, already doing some damage over the way of Zeus, and Zeus is kind of forced to go with Geostrike as well to kind of keep up with this.
Think so. Yeah, you're not going to get much value out of going with an early Earthbind, I don't think.
So we see Slayers going for some cancels on the poof, trying to play with the mind of Zeus a little bit here.
Zeus still holding on to his level. And there it is. He is going to go with the Earthbind.
Yeah, so he manages to actually get 2 elves into poof. This could be doing some damage over to Slayers, and it does. Keeps him there for a couple seconds, gets a deny as well. Zeus trying to play his best around this matchup.
Quite a bit of mana used, but it did give some good damage. Now Cass has his first Meepo online.
Yeah,
This
Zeus
is
does
the
have
point.
more denies, but Slayer's just been pushing the lane a little bit more than Zeus, leading him to get the levels a little bit better here.
And Zeus opting for the level 3 into poof, or level 2 poof for his level
Right.
3. I'm not sure which one has a better advantage. I think if you wait for level 4 to get your first Meepo, he becomes a little bit stronger, but it really just comes down to playstyle.
Yeah, Zeus just has to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage from both Meepos here. He is doing a little bit better on XP, so Slayers can use this little bit of an advantage that he has to, as you see him getting a couple more denies over Zeus right now. He's trying to push his advantage on that a little bit more. But Zeus was able to hit a pretty good level 2 poof a little bit earlier. Just wants to get one more creep so he can get up that second Meepo.
The boots are helping quite a bit in
Earthbind
evading
slightly off.
some
Slayers.
harass damage,
So
but
that's where the boots come in handy. Slayers does have his up now.
He did straight up buy a Gloves of Haste though, so he's rushing treads, but he has no regen. So he's gonna have to eventually go for one of these shrines. And Zeus is still not level 4.
Yeah, he's really not being able to get through this creep wave. And he does pick up the second meeple there. So he's going to probably send one over to the shrine, but that's going to make him start to get a little bit further away. And unlike other matchups, when you use the shrine with the meeple, you're not really forced into just losing time in the lane.
You're right. So I think Cascas might opt for that too soon. He is using both meepos.
Yeah, he just
for
wants
the
to
double-
get some mana
double
back
heal,
on one.
yeah.
He sends one back as fast as possible just because he doesn't really need as much on it.
Good micro from Cascas too. So he's definitely no stranger to meepo.
Yeah, that's definitely refreshing to see that both players are up on their Michael skills. Earthbind out on the 2. Meepo's taking a lot of damage. Second Earthbind comes out, just stopping the poof there. Now we're going to have Earthbinds the other way doing some damage back. Zeus taking a lot of damage. Oh, evades those poofs though. And he's probably going to just force or throw one Meepo back over to the shrine. And he's not going to miss a whole lot here, as stated before.
He's actually gonna go for the other shrine too. I'm not crazy about this play. I think the second meepo should have just gone back to base. Because at some point Zeus will like desperately need that second shrine, and he's not doing anything with it yet.
Might feel like the matchup is going to be over a little bit sooner than that, but he finally does pop the shrine now. I guess wasn't really looking over there a whole lot. And he throws out the Earthbind. Now the second meeple comes in. That's going to be very close to the first blood. They need one hit. Come on.
He
Let's
has
get over
Earthbind
there.
up.
Earthbind's up, and he manages
is.
to just slap him with the shovel. Zeus managing
good
to find
play.
the first blood. Yeah. Just kind of baiting it
That's-
out with the second meeple not being there.
Excellent play by Zeus, queuing up the meepo that was healing up to poof for that surprising amount of damage.
Yeah, for sure.
Now Zeus has the level 6. He's got the level advantage, but honestly Cascas is not that far behind him, and both heroes are about to be rocking treads.
Yeah, for sure. Just showing off their fashion choices here. Picking up the power treads at pretty much the same time. Slayers could go in with another combo. Thought about the Earthbind for a second there.
This is where like the CS lead comes in hand. Like it's so important because Cascas, despite giving up first blood, he still has the item advantage because of how many last hits he has over Zeus. So this 1v1 mid lineup is definitely about last hits just as much as it is about harassment and creep aggro.
For sure. And
Basically
Slayers
got
also,
double.
Yeah, Slayer's been getting like so many of the denies here. So he's really keeping up with Zeus here. Even though Zeus did get the first blood, he's only about a quarter of a level behind him right now.
Yeah.
So second meepo back over to the mid lane for Zeus. Just wants to get that last hit there. There's the Earthbind looking for the poof, but that Earthbind is going to keep him there for a couple seconds. And another Earthbind, couple boosts, again the Earthbind, and now they're going to be able to get the second blood. Zeus finds it. It's the battle of the Earthbinds, and eventually the one that shot second, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean-
it was just better Earthbind play from Zeus, being able to cancel out the poofs from Slayer, is his name? Or
Yeah, Slayers is the team name.
so being able to cancel those poofs restricted the amount of damage that he took, and I mean that just comes down to knowing the hero a little bit more. Really, really well played by Slayer as far as keeping last hits in his favor. You know, staying tied as far when it came to items. But in the end, it was who knew the hero best.
All right, so we'll see if Slayers can get back into it with a hero of their choice in game number 2 of our best of 5 grand final series. AVHEL snowed in, gonna come right back at you in just a few moments. And it is that time again, back for game number 2 of our grand final best of 5 series. Tiny versus Tiny. I'm Patreon Goom here with the
Yep.
AVGL Snowed
So
In series. Vertigo also
Slayer.
joining me.
Slayer going with the tiny pick this time around. And he's going to be going for the same build, Poor Man's and Tango.
And the other Tiny, named Zeus on the other side, looks like he's foaming at the mouth with some molten lava. And he's going to be picking up the Stout Shield to start here.
Nice item set.
That's very nice.
And Slayer does not have an item set, so GG.
Yeah, I think that's
Zeus
it.
wins. Let's go game 3.
Game is won by cosmetics. Also remember that Zeus does have the next pickup, and I think we all know what he's going to be going with for the next hero. He's definitely been a big fan of getting Puck in these 1v1s.
Yeah. Zeus going with the tankier build, starting with gauntlets, 2 branches, and the Tango.
Yeah, so he's already going to have a 100 health advantage over Slayers.
As well as a slight regen advantage. However, Tiny will be taking a little bit less right-click damage, so it'll kind of come down to spell usage, really.
Well, spells, but Zeus also has a bit of a damage advantage as well.
Oh yeah, slight damage advantage. Actually, it's pretty big, 71 to 66.
Yeah, it's pretty substantial for the same hero.
Ooh, cast with a pretty unlucky creep spawn.
Yeah, so they're just going to charge their way
yes.
down the mid lane, as they do pretty much every single time. And Zeus gets a much better block here. He gets the creep wave very close to his tier 1, nearly underneath the range. Just outside of it.
Basically perfect.
So, this is
Now
going to
Cast
be...
has to fight on Zeus's side of the river, but Slayer is already picking up a... He's already picking
no
up
one's getting
a
a last
slight...
hit or a deny. There we go.
There it
Zeus
is.
gets the first one. So, I'm interested to see how they end up working around the creep aggro. That was
Whoa,
an
was that
early
Craggy?
exterior?
Yeah, Slayer going with level 1 Craggy. I don't know, I'm not crazy about that. At least he can trade pretty evenly. Ooh,
I mean,
the
I'm
right-click
looking at
battle.
Zeus. He's doing literally no damage to Slayers. Literally no damage at all. I mean, look, he was just hitting him for a couple seconds, and Zeus ended up taking about the same damage, even though he has more health. All right, so he's
Pretty
gonna pop
crazy.
the tank
Now
there. Look at this.
Cast has to toss.
He's just like looking at him.
Jeez.
I mean, Zeus pretty much has to do this with magic damage now. That's basically what Slayers is guaranteeing here.
Now it looks like, yeah, Zeus is pretty much just relying purely on the magic damage. Cast, or Slayer, I guess. Looking for more of the right-click trading build.
Yeah, and
Which makes sense if you're gonna go Poor Man's.
And Zeus is going to be picking up a little bit more of the... He's actually going for another bracer. He picks up the Quelling Blade as well, so he wants to work on the CS war. So that may very well be what it comes down to.
Second level and toss. Castcaster's going 1-1-1. And look at these right clicks.
Avalanche, there's the toss. Oh, Slayer's just missing that one, throwing the range creep back to his wave. He's obviously looking for Zeus there.
That's where Slayer's item build kind of shows its weakness. I mean, if you're going up against a hero whose whole job is to burst you down with magic damage, you're going to build a like defensive right-click build. You're going to be pretty sad at first.
Yeah, once Slayers does get up to level 2 in the toss, he just throws a creep out over to Zeus, who is out of mana for now. So Slayers will just go over and get close to his shrine. He will use it, giving Zeus a little bit
I
more
guess that
time in
is
lane.
one good thing. That is one good thing about Slayer's build, is the fact that Tiny has such a small mana pool that usually one combo is all you're going to get off, so it's going to come down to a lot of right clicks.
Yeah.
I still think that the value, though, that you get from a level 2 Avalanche, level 2 toss is... Ooh,
Craggy
nice Craggy.
exterior.
I'm not sure. We'll have to see what ends up with these two builds.
I mean, just the value in getting 1 point in this ability. I mean, you get so much armor, you get a 25% chance to stun at all levels, which got buffed in the recent updates. So, I mean, it's just, I think, very smart for Slayers to go for that, and he's getting very tanky now as well. Poor man's shield and a bracer. He is up to the same health as Zeus, and Zeus can't really do as much damage.
It is a pretty strong ability now. I mean, for a hero that starts with 1 armor, now he's already up to 5. It is a valuable ability to skill. But Zeus taking that 3rd level in toss now.
Yeah, so he does have the advantage in magical burst damage. And there's a toss going out on Zeus. Zeus has not quite enough mana for a full combo.
I think that's what he's waiting for. Once he hits that 240 mark, then he might try for something.
He has a Mango on the way as well. Mango and Boots. And Slayer should see that courier arrive.
Hopefully he doesn't eat that mango right now. Yeah, he's going to hold on to it.
He's going to hold on to it. There's the avalanche out, and the toss will come in. Zeus is staying alive for now. He might think about turning around. He goes in through the creep wave. There's the avalanche throwing up the minion. Oh, no. Just not enough damage. These tinies are very tanky.
Almost. It was pretty close.
Oh, he
yeah.
just wants that regen
wanting
rune. Please just let me pop
almost
that.
Close.
If only regen runes were able to be used. But
yeah, I'm not sure with that one. I think he had enough health to keep walking forward a little bit, and if he would have just kept walking forward, it would have been a higher chance that he tosses Slayer instead of one of the creeps. But I think he was just so low health, he didn't want to risk getting right-clicked a couple times and just dying.
Right.
But now Zeus is level 6 and has gotten that grow.
Yep, Zeus has gotten up there. Slayers did go over and just use the shrine. He's got a little bit more right click now, which was clearly needed up against Slayers. So now Zeus is just swinging, and he's also moving pretty fast with the boots and the windlace. So Slayers gets up there, forced into the 1 level into grow.
Man, those right clicks are deadly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even though he has Bracer and Stout Shield, having only 2 armor up against 148 right-click damage, you're gonna get chunked.
Well, they both have 140 right-click damage now, so it's not.
That's
so
what I'm
bad.
saying. But Zeus has the 2 armor versus Slayer's 5 armor. Ooh, there it is.
He'll just get the toss off, but oh, Cracky! Oh my God!
Goodness, what an ability!
Gracious, man. Also, I like the cloak pickup on Slayers. He's going to evade or just mitigate some of the magic damage that Zeus is throwing out, which is really the main strength of his build. So he's doing a pretty good job of negating most of it. Zeus going up, he does have a toss available, just throws it out and takes both last hits.
I almost feel like, though, that Raindrop is a better pickup, just because I feel like that item alone has pretty much killed any Tiny in the pro scene, and even some in pub scenes. I feel like that's a slightly more valuable item. Like, in order to get rid of all the charges, you're forcing Zeus to output a lot of mana when he only has 400 mana pool. If he wants to get rid of charges, he's going to expend basically a third of his mana pool just to do it. Whereas the cloak does mitigate some damage, but that level 4 toss still dealt quite a chunk to Slayer.
Yeah, for sure.
Going phase boots on Zeus.
Yeah, so he's going to have even more damage as well as some great move speed here. Zeus just trying to do the best as he can in this matchup because we do know what is probably coming next. It's his pick of hero after this one, and he's definitely been trying to work the puck as best as he can.
So I really feel like Slayer needs this pickup. So far, it seems like Zeus is having the advantage. I mean, he has the CS advantage, but...
Here come the phase boots. So thinking about going for it.
Oh, man. 390 move speed, and that's without phase.
Yeah, meanwhile, Slayers is just getting his boots delivered on the courier.
I don't know, man. I really feel like Zeus so far has like a pretty big advantage. Slayer's definitely playing from behind here.
Yeah, for sure. Out by about 10 CS, behind by 9 denies. Zeus is doing pretty well here. This is game number 2 of the best of 5 Avalanche throw out just to make sure that Zeus isn't able to get that one last hit. He's just going to continue to sit here. Hasn't really gotten aggressive with the phase boots at all.
Pretty surprised too. I feel like especially with only 2 creeps there, Zeus can really get aggressive here. He's got max toss, 1 more level and he'll have maxed avalanche. Plus he has the phase boots. I feel like that was his time. Cast was pretty low on mana.
Shrine management pretty important here as Slayers just goes over, drops his bracer for maximum efficiency on it.
The value.
And he's gotten back to lane with full health and mana. I have to say, I really like how the shrines are kind of changing the way the 1v1 matchups look.
Oh yeah. Because before, I mean, you would bottle crow and that's about all the regen you had. If you wanted to courier out a salve, you could. But with the shrines here, I feel like it definitely, I want to say, it makes it to where people are more fearless to trade because they know like, oh, even if I drop to pretty low, oh, here it is.
Combo, that's the first blood. Slayers takes it. Zeus just wasn't really putting out the harass that he needed to, and Slayers just walks up and takes the first blood.
But yeah, I feel like you can become more fearless too, because instead of having to sit back and waiting for a bottle crow, you're like, oh, I'm low health, I'm just gonna get a shrine.
Yep. So Slayers goes over. His shrine needs a little bit of time to activate, but he goes and picks up the arcane boots from the secret shop, so he makes this trip very worth it for him. We are coming up to the 10-minute mark, so only 2 minutes left. He's gonna have to find a kill out in the Zeus. We're gonna have to see a lot of harass in the next 2 minutes if Slayers wants to win this, because Zeus does have the CS lead.
That is true. So if Zeus wanted to, he could just play back.
Yeah, that is the avalanche. Ooh. And taking a big creep wave there, just behind by 5. That's the same amount of harass. Zeus just throws it back. He needs to wait for his cooldowns to come up, and he needs to heal up a little bit as well. Zeus does have the raindrop, so...
One thing that Zeus isn't doing either, he's not getting in that right click in while he's tossed. So I don't know if that's just like a fear of taking damage or not knowing the hero as much as Slayer, but during that toss, he should be getting an extra right click or 2 in.
Yep, so Slayers, he's starting to get a little bit low. Zeus is back to higher health, and Zeus is starting to also deny these creeps away from Slayers. There could be a toss. He's going for the deny, actually not able to find the item. Slayers just picking up the Orb of Venom before Zeus can pick it up, but that is going to be 1 minute left with Zeus currently up ahead by 10 CS. He's going to go pop his shrine.
Trying to kind of... Yeah, he was trying to kind of outrun him there. That way he could try and get the toss off, but he waited a little too long.
He also wanted to get the item deny. He just saw that item and
wanted to go
for it. Slayers, he's regenning. He's going to get the deny. 30 seconds left. Zeus, he's taking a lot of damage. Throws it out to Slayer. I think we might have just had a winner here. I'm not sure if Slayers is going to be able to find enough CS, so Zeus getting a little bit deep. Just doesn't want to die.
40 seconds.
We've got 20 seconds left. And
this is it. Zeus can just sit in the back.
As long as Zeus doesn't die, it's fine. There's a toss. And
that's going to be it.
Yeah, that's probably going to be it. Yeah, Slayers is just going to concede. So that's going to be game number 2. Going the way of Zeus here. So we will have a 2-0 lead in the best of 5, meaning that he is 1 game away from victory, and it is his choice on hero. He's been known to bring out the puck.
And he's good with it.
Yeah, he's very good. Will Slayers be able to beat him at his own game?
It kind of sucks. I feel like Slayer is a really, really good player too. Like, you can tell that they're both proficient mid laners. I just feel like Slayer may have made some poor decisions in that game especially. So he's going to have to show his maybe puck skills or whatever gets chosen. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll just have to see as we move on to our 3rd game of the best of 5 in just a few moments. You're watching the AVGL Snowed In Dota 2 1v1 tournament, and it will be coming right back in just a few moments. And we might have thought what was coming next would have been a Puck, but indeed it is going to be a Rubik picked by Zeus here. And he's actually got the effigy in his base of him doing the taunt. So obviously this guy likes his Rubik.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Puck. But Zeus building so far to have that right click build. Hitting for 61 right now. Cascas actually going to do the same.
Or
and
very
I would
similar
imagine they
without
both go
regen.
for Fade Bolt here.
Possibly. Slayer's already leveled that up. Yeah, Slayer's isn't taking any regen. He's just got 3 Iron Branches and the Null Talisman.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, with Fade Bolt being on a 16-second cooldown and honestly not too much mana, there's going to be a lot of them flying out, and I really feel like you need regen to continue to deal with that. But, I mean, they probably should have regen in no time.
Yeah, he should be able to get that delivered to him pretty quickly if he ends up being in a lot of trouble. But having those Iron Branches gives him a bit of an HP lead, so he can afford to trade a little bit more with Zeus here. And if they're on the same damage, it's really not all that bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
So
Hoping that Zeus doesn't go for some like level 1 null field build.
Oh gosh.
Pretty bad.
That would be interesting.
Pretty awful. I mean, it's definitely an ability that you should pick up early, like an extra value level, but please not level 1. Zeus spot on with the block.
Yeah, again, he gets a pretty good one over Slayers here.
Good aggro though by Slayer.
Yeah, and the Fade Bolt already thrown
So
out,
one,
so
wow, so one Fade Bolt actually gets rid of 20 damage flat
it's very
to these
difficult
heroes.
for Zeus to last it after that. But Zeus is still doing pretty well on the denies.
Pretty even so far, although they're pretty low overall.
Yeah, with Rubik having some pretty low base damage, it's just really like who ends up swinging second or can play around with the animation a little bit better. As Zeus is going to take another Fade
Slayer.
Bolt.
Now they're both going. They both have telekinesis now.
Very interesting to watch these two players work at it.
It's what's gonna interest me the most is what are their item builds gonna be, and wow, Slayer putting out the damage. Could go for a telekinesis play. I don't know. Slayer's starting to kind of push it.
They're like both at the same amount of health, pretty much.
I mean, a lot of that too came from Slayer right-clicking Zeus under creeps. He had 4 creeps just smacking at him. Oh, it was a good play at first, but he kind of overextended it. He should have just taken his harass lead and left with it. Now both players are level 3 with a level 2 Fade Bolt. They're both sitting pretty low, and this is where it gets interesting. The thing is, Zeus has that Fairy Fire to fall back on.
Zeus trying to go for the item deny again. Slayer is just being a little bit funny with it, trying to bait it out, but he's going to be able to pick it up nearly every time unless he gets too greedy. Just salvo.
That would have been close too. If Zeus would have gone for it, he would have just got telekinesed up. And here it
up
is into the creep wave.
But they're not hitting him. They've already gone for the range creep. So Slayers, he's actually taking more of the harass from the creep wave right now, and Zeus is just fine after that.
Good idea. The right timing.
Okay, Slayer's moving up. Zeus could be in some trouble. Telekinesis coming up soon. Gonna throw him back in. Okay, yeah. That was not a drop that he wanted to happen.
Oh, it is not.
So he pushed
not far
him
back
towards
enough.
him. Yeah, he pushed him towards him, trying to get him underneath the tower range, which he was. He did get under tower range, but it just wasn't really good enough. Zeus showing up to the lane now. He's got a telekinesis up in 1 second. He's going to lift him up, and he's going to try to get away. Telekinesis is not going to end up being used. He couldn't really turn around there.
Yeah, somewhat of an even trade. I mean, the net worth is still in favor of Slayer since he got the first blood, but at least Zeus doesn't have to GG immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
So I kind of feel like if Cascas would have turned around and thrown the telekinesis, he might have gotten away.
He might have got a chance to get to the shrine. Telekinesis and a Fade Bolt combo by Slayers. Just trying to put out the harass.
Now Zeus is playing from behind.
He does have a little bit of an XP lead. I'll take Telekinesis back.
There it is.
But well, eventually the
Wow.
Rubik, he does take damage there. So here's having a little bit of a targeting priority over the siege creeps there.
Has to be careful too. He's sitting pretty low on health, and Slayer's just gonna go for the shrine instead
They'll
of
both
eating
go
his
for
salve.
shrines.
However, Slayer is losing out on last hits right now and XP.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's a few underneath his tower there. Catapult's doing some
good
work
deny.
to the tower. Fade Bolt out onto Slayers. I mean, level 6 won't really do a whole lot here. I mean, do you get
No.
double telekinesis?
Double telekinesis or double actually double Fade Bolt would be pretty good.
Okay.
I wouldn't take Steel at level 6, but I definitely think it's worth taking at some.
Zeus
Imagine
getting
having
low.
two 320 nukes.
Zeus just waiting for his healing salve to get off of the backpack cooldown. Oh, need to go underneath the cover of the trees to get away from the Rubik, who's just kind of going around here, looking for something to do. Was trying to look for the Fade Bolt on the Zeus, couldn't quite find it. Zeus is at level 6, and he's going for the 3rd level into the telekinesis there. Phase Boot's picked up by Slayers, though. He's at level 6 as well, and he gets the telekinesis back onto Zeus. He's done up his own creeps, and that's a Fade Bolt stolen, but it does nothing.
Oh, it doesn't count? Wow. That's really bad, actually. I was gonna say too, since you couldn't put that level 6 into Fade Bolt, I think it would have been most worth to put it into Null Field. I mean, what telekinesis gives you an extra quarter of a second lift duration and an extra quarter of a second stun. It doesn't deal any damage. So in this 1v1 matchup, you really don't need telekinesis levels. You need 1. But having that 10% extra magic resistance on top of their base 25%, that would have been huge.
Alright, a lift
There it
out
is, though.
onto Zeus again. There is a Fade Bolt available. Rather than really throwing it out. Getting low, but the Fairy Fire keeping Zeus alive. Zeus going for a Fade Bolt out onto Slayers and taking him rather low, but they're going to be both forced away from this one.
Raindrop coming in handy there. Yeah, unfortunate for Slayer. I didn't know that interaction.
I mean, I wouldn't even
because,
call
I mean-
that an interaction, because how often in Dota
Yeah,
are you
'cause,
going
like,
to
it's
see two
nothing happened.
Rubiks?
Never. In any pub, you'll never see that.
This is
so,
like the first time ever
Yeah.
in the history of Dota.
wow. But yeah, it's pretty rough.
So
I think right now Zeus kind of has the lead, even though Slayer's ahead
He's
in
gotta have
CS.
the
I just
lead.
feel like,
I mean, basically Slayer's wasted a skill point.
yeah. And I mean, technically Zeus wasted his, but definitely not to the extent that Cass has. And now Zeus has that level 4 Fade Bolt.
Yeah.
This is
Zeus
it. This
going
could be the
forward.
kill. Phase Boots saving him.
Yeah, keeping him out of trouble for now, and he's getting towards level
Yeah,
7. There's the
this is it.
lift, looking for the Fade Bolt. He needs one more hit.
Ooh,
Slayers!
that's it.
That's it. So
You
we
should
have
eat
a
yourself.
champion. We've got a champion in the ABTL snowed in Dota 2 series. It's gonna be Zeus taking it over Slayers in just 3 games.
Zeus could have ate his salve. I mean, Slayer could have ate his salve, man.
Well, that decision is probably going to come back to haunt him as the prize pool goes the way of Zeus, as well as much adoration and probably tons of bragging rights as the wins the winter series. And
It's pretty crazy. This was a free tournament to enter. You know, just easy 1v1s if you're a college student, and he's walking away with $260.
yeah, for
So
sure.
very good on Zeus.
Definitely good for him. You can definitely buy a lot of beer with that. So, because we all
Because
know
what
that.
else do college students buy?
What else do we buy,
But-
honestly? So,
But anyways, that was a
congratulations to him.
great series. That was a
Yeah,
lot of
for
fun.
sure. And I'm glad that we got to see some of the different heroes in there. I mean, who would have thought that in a 1v1 mid series we were going to see Meepo, Tiny, and Root? I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
how do you predict
No
that?
Quap, no Puck, no SF.
Yeah, none of that crap. Who wants to go with normal mid heroes? So thank
Time.
you to all the
But
players for participating today. It was absolutely fantastic to get people out to play some Dota 2, have a lot of fun. And also, once again, congratulations to our winner. So thank you for joining me today, Vertigo, for helping the cast and have a lot of fun
of
with me as well.
course,
Always a pleasure.
make sure to any viewers here that you also follow ABGL. This is just a 1v1 tournament we did, but we also have our seasons coming up soon for all the college teams. So if you have a favorite college that you want to follow, make sure to keep up with what ABGL does.
Yeah, maybe your own. We will be having different games in the AVGL. So it's not just Dota 2. We've also got Smite, Paladins. Uh, we've got that one game that
CSGO,
everybody plays on the consoles called Call of Duty. You know that one?
all of dude. I think I know that game. I'm not sure.
Possibly. I think we might even have a FIFA
Maybe.
one in there soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Check out the Twitter for all the AVGL infos that are coming up. And make sure you follow the channel so that you can stay up to date on all of your collegiate action. We will have a winner's interview coming up in just a few moments on the stream. But for now, thanks for watching. And as always, cheers.